Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA. So the ADA chart, the ADA chart shows still an active uptrend. We had obviously an impressive reversal from our long-term support area there, or let's say medium-term support area, located between 29 cents and 36 cents. For those who are new, maybe you're coming into the space just now because of the ADA rally or altcoin rallies in general. It typically can make sense to add positions when prices are in support regions. Now you can say, okay, but this is so far away, what do I do now? Well, there are setups that even present on smaller time frames, they just have to be used. And I show you in most of these videos now as well, the larger time frame, the bigger picture, started to do that again more and more when we saw, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, the first indications that we would see significant rallies. We saw it quite early here on the ADA chart, the reaction to the support area when we had the first breakout above 36 cents. And I remember there was one update I made and also posted to our gold members that things could be starting on the ADA chart, and that one of the first targets we're watching is the 78 cent level. And that's been reached now, because this is not only the March high. I mean, it's not exactly 78 cents, but it's sort of the range, right? Maybe 78 to 82 cents. And then we've got 78 cents as fib level as well. Now, it's not such a meaningful one, but certainly we've seen a reaction there now. And does it look finished to the upside? I mean, again, the white wave count is what I'm showing you here as 5-wave pattern that could unfold here. I find that quite likely. But there are things that I'm checking that are actually not too great. That actually there could be a case for a bearish count if it just extends like that. So I have to say that please always know where support levels are that could break, and I'm showing you them all the time on a smaller time frame. But I want to say, there are two bullish counts I'm tracking. So don't want to scare anybody, but there is the white count, which suggests a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 to the downside. This is what we've been watching all that time. And we wanted to see some kind of a reaction here. Now that happened. Significant upside. People are happy, in profit. Anybody who used that setup has to be in profit, right? Okay, unless you bought previous bull market high or something. But anybody who used this local setup is in profit. And even if you bought in that, during that period between June and March, right? And you maybe didn't get the most favorable entry, you should be in profit unless you really bought the top. But even then, you're probably just like neutral now. Now, it's always ideal then when we get a rally like that we actually see another 1-2 setup like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would be the larger one, and then wave 2. The problem is when this gets too long, right? When this gets too long, because what we normally don't want is that the next 5-wave move is as long as the previous one, because that gives me an ABC structure, right? And then $1.04 would be major resistance, and we could start a new downtrend from there. It is something you should know about. I will probably put it onto the chart for one of the next videos, because then we can say, okay, this looks impulsive to the downside. Wave 1 to the downside. A, B, C. Maybe even a bit higher. Goodbye. Okay? So it's just something to be aware of, which is why, that potential is always there with all altcoins. Which is why I say when the sentiment shifts in altcoins, you've secured profits. I mean, make sure you secure them by, I don't know, moving up your stop or reducing risk when the altcoin position is too large to handle. So that's just the potential that's there. And that's always the problem. Had ADA now formed a nice 5-wave move up, 3-wave pullback, amazing 1-2, 1-2 setup, go. Didn't happen. So that doesn't mean it has to be bearish. Okay, no, there is the green count, further upside extensions. 1, 2, and then a third wave without any, so in green, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just something to watch. It just means as we work our way through this Fibonacci ladder, we just have to be mindful that there can be rejections along the way. And we also need to pay attention to the 1 hour chart. As long as we're holding the relevant support levels, everything's fine. But once they start to break, it's a warning, okay? That's all I'm saying. The trend is up, and I'm watching these scenarios primarily. The trend is up, looking for higher prices, but I see the potential for failure along the way. But that's typically the case with altcoins, right? But you know that this is not a Moon Boy channel, so I'm always telling you where things could go wrong. That's, you know, Elliott wave charts. It's a map, okay? It's like a map. It's like when you go and, I don't know, you're on a hike and you go somewhere, you want to, I don't know, explore an area, you've got a map there. Well, the map tells you where you've got lakes, where you've got mountains, I don't know, where you've got forest, where you've got the roads. Some roads are more difficult. And the map also tells you where things could get difficult, right? Where roads could be blocked. And that's exactly what Elliott wave tells us as well, all right? Now, how to navigate that then, and we don't exactly know what's going to happen until we get there, right? So that's a great analogy, right? So that's how I understand Elliott wave, as a map that tells us where things could happen, where we need to pay attention. And some of these levels are those Fib levels that are shown on the chart, because clearly this move up is overextended, which is common, okay, not unexpected, but it's just risk is usually high when that's the case. But at the same time, there's no reason to fight the trend. It's just be careful as we approach these levels and make sure that you have a plan, because again, great analogy, you know, you have that map, but how you're going to travel, you know, how you're actually going to do it in practice depends on your own travel plan, right? So you need to have your own food with you, you need to have your certain clothing, you know, depending on the temperatures, and you have to decide what kind of I don't know, what kind of hiking gear you want to take with you. See, and that's personal. So, and that's exactly why, you know, you can't in these videos tell some people to buy or sell. All I can do is, from a chart point of view, which is a general map, tell you where the risk is high and the rewards are high, and, you know, where things could go wrong and where the trend goes, and the trend is still up as long as we're holding certain support levels. So that's the chart, but you still have to make it work for you, right? So this is the smaller time frame, and the next upside target was reached as per the last update. We have 2 support levels here. That micro one is not so important. This is for the immediate uptrend, but as you can see, we only have 3 waves up, as I just showed you on the larger time frame. Shorter time frame support is 65 cents. Any break below it means this one will become relevant. It's between 43 and 63. That's the larger support for the next larger wave 4 pullback. I just showed you on the larger time frame here. It's this wave 4, which could then be the next setup, but we haven't started it yet, and we could still extend further more directly as long as we're holding 65 cents. Break below 65 cents means, okay, we're likely in a larger correction. Maybe it's turning into something more bearish, but if we can find support here, which essentially is a setup, then we could get one more high in wave 5. So that's how I see this. Any break below 43 cents, however, will challenge the entire uptrend. So that's the update about ADA. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.